Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Tonight we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Washington Commanders and the Green Bay Packers. Joey Sly, the kicker, stands ready. And off we go from Lambeau. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he returns this to the 22. Now a play fake. Rodgers. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
And the slot man goes in motion left. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense. And they were there to help force the incompletion.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense holds on the Knights' opening drive. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right, the social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe some explanations.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school. And one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Gibson again. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Darnell Savage there to make the tackle. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up in a 3rd and 9 situation. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again. Yeah,
one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy set the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run off tackle with Jones. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, 626. 630.
Rodgers going to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. A huge play there for Washington. 44 yards. We're scoreless after 1. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2.
Here we go, here we go. That's solid, solid.
A give up the middle to Gibson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. A handoff for Gibson. And he's going to be met at about the 43. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Throwing now is Wentz. And he finds McLaurin. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 32-yard line. The 3rd down conversion successful. A gain of 11. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he's going to take this one down to the 25. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Gibson. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, here's Gibson. And Gibson looking for some kind of opening, but he has none. They rally up to stop him short of the marker. Here we go on 4th down. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Once more, Gibson. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now Wentz. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. There he goes, right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick-6.
And I know from experience throughout the week, when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick-6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone to potentially tie this game up. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Wentz to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. Slings this deep from McLaurin. On Wentz is intercepted yet again. Picked off by Jair Alexander. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they may be content to take this 7-0 lead into the locker room. We'll see. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. It's caught inside the 25. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Rodgers now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones as the first half is winding down. And the Packers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. A full start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Now Wentz. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it. And that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And it's a Packers touchdown. A.J. Dillon in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now 21-0. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And this one is incomplete.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
A final shot before half for Wentz. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Yeah, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
On second down, a run with Gibson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Here's a give to Gibson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Wentz going to go on 4th down. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. They'll run here with Gibson. And a short gain down to about the 33. Eric Stokes in on the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Wentz to throw for it on 4th. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Here's Rodgers. This is caught. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. Rodgers going to try and run. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to pull one over his head as this game progresses.
From midfield, here's Wentz. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Open man is the tight end, John Bates. And this is going to wind up working out just fine, as he'll have a Washington 1st down And an exhale there as they convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped. Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance. Joey Sly on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. This is taken just shy of the 10. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side. And all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands. A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Inside.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Packers. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they may be giving up momentum, and not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed Old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Wentz. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Wentz and the Commanders staring down a 3rd and long now after that sack. They'll set up to throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now Wentz, got to have this one. Looking sideline, and he's going to have his man as he was able to walk the tightrope there for the completion. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 107 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll go again to Jones. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Touchdown, Packers! Robert Tonyan, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. Crosby with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, but
this is caught inside the 15. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. But today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield. Wentz now on 1st down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
On 2nd and 10, Wentz. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Wentz and the Commanders staring down a 3rd and long now after that sack. They'll drop to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And the Packers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, Held him to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, they came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the best.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St. Just. And the Commanders will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So it's all over. A green